Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to deconstruct the formula for a world-class interview answer. I'm talking about how you can take your real-world experiences and turn them into these amazing stories that don't just get you noticed, they get you hired.
You know the moment. We've all been there, right? The interviewer leans in, looks you in the eye, and says, "Tell me about a time when." Ugh. Look, what they're really asking for isn't just a trip down memory lane. It's a test. They want to see if you can tell a compelling story that proves your value.
All right, so here's the game plan for this explainer. We're breaking this secret formula down into 5 super simple parts. We'll start with the start-all method itself, then we'll get into setting the scene, describing what you actually did, and showing your impact. And to wrap it all up, we'll build a complete winning story from scratch. Okay, let's get right into it. The star line method. Think of it as this incredible framework that takes all those messy real-world things that happen at work and transforms them into these crystal clear, compelling stories. It's basically your formula for a perfect answer. So STARL gives you this simple, easy-to-remember structure. You've got S for situation, T for task, A for action, R for result, and then, and this is the one so many people forget, L for learning. Seriously, that L is a game changer. It shows you're not just doing the work, you're growing from it. And that's exactly what every company wants. If you can nail this sequence, you are already miles ahead of most candidates. So, let's start building this out, beginning with the first 2 letters, S and T. This is all about setting the perfect scene. You've got to give your story some context and a clear purpose right from the get-go. Okay, so what makes this opening so good? Well, in just a couple of sentences, it does a few things perfectly. First, it sets the context. We're talking invoice processing. Then it hits you with a clear data-backed problem. That return rate jumped from 5 to 10%. And the best part, it shows incredible initiative. This person stepped up, even when it wasn't technically their job. So the main takeaway for the S is this. Frame it around a specific challenge or an opportunity. You want to be quick, you want to be clear, and you want to get right to the heart of the problem. What's the conflict here? All right, now for the T, the task. This comes right after you've set up the situation. It's where you define your specific goal. It's not just about what needed to be done in general, it's about what you were going to do about it. This is where you become the hero of your own story. See, that one sentence tells the interviewer exactly what you were trying to achieve. It gives your whole story focus and a clear direction. It basically screams, I am a goal-oriented problem solver. Okay, so we've set the stage perfectly. Now it's showtime. This is the A, the action. This is where you break down the specific steps you took to tackle the problem. This is the meat of the story. Now, you have to avoid being vague here. Saying something like, I looked into the problem, that tells the interviewer practically nothing. Instead, get specific. Look at the strong example. I initiated, I shadowed, I compared, I presented. It's a clear, logical sequence of actions that just screams analytical thinking and proactivity. And the key here really is to focus on what you did, not what we or the team did. Use those strong action verbs. I initiated, I analyzed, I led. And look, this isn't about being arrogant or taking all the credit. It's about taking ownership so the interviewer can clearly see your specific contribution and your direct impact. All right, we've set the scene, we've described the awesome actions you took. Now for the grand finale, the payoff. This is where your story goes from good to undeniable because you're going to back it all up with results and, most importantly, what you learned. You know what makes a result truly powerful? Numbers. Numbers are the hero of your R section. Why? Because they make your impact concrete and super memorable. Saying you reduced returns is fine, it's okay. But saying you slashed the return rate from 10% all the way down to 3%, that's unforgettable. And hey, it's not just about the hard numbers. Don't forget to talk about the other positive outcomes. Did your manager give you a shout out? Did your solution get rolled out to other teams? This stuff is gold, because it shows your impact rippled out way beyond just that one single problem. But wait, we're not done yet. Please do not stop at the result. The L for learning, this is what separates a pretty good story from an absolutely killer one. It sends a massive signal to an employer that you're not just a robot who completes tasks. You're a learner, you reflect, you grow. It's that growth mindset in action. Just look at this L statement. It's brilliant. It shows so much maturity and self-awareness. It proves you don't just check boxes.
You think about what happened, you learn from it, and you get better. Honestly, that is the hallmark of a true top performer.
Okay, we've gone through all the pieces of the puzzle: S, T, A, R, and L. So now let's put it all together. We're going to look at one more full example to see how these parts click together to build a really seamless, really impressive story. So let's deconstruct this one. The situation? A new hire makes 16 errors in just 2 hours. That's a serious problem, right? The task? Get in there and coach them to improve on the very same shift. The action? You analyze their work, you observe them, and you give them direct, real-time feedback. And the result? Bam! Errors plummet from 16 down to 3. That's a huge, quantifiable win. And the learning? The big insight? That great mentoring isn't one size fits all. It's about adapting to what that person actually needs. See how it all just flows? Perfect. But here's the thing I really want you to take away from all this. The STARL method is so much more than just an interview tactic. It's not just a trick to get through a 30-minute conversation. This is a powerful tool for thinking about and communicating your professional value, anytime, anywhere. Seriously, whether you're in your annual performance review, you're networking at an event, or you're building a case for a promotion, it fundamentally changes how you think about your work, forcing you to focus on impact. And that's the ultimate goal, isn't it? Mastering this is about showing that you're not just someone who gets results. You're someone who learns, who adapts, and who drives real, meaningful change. This quote says it all. It's about being precise, finding the root cause and fixing the process, not just patching up the outcome. Now that is what true ownership looks like. So now it's over to you. The next step is to take this exact framework and start applying it to your own career. Think back on the challenges you've overcome, the problems you've solved, the impact you've made. Every single one of those experiences is a potential story, just waiting to be told. So the only question left is, how will you tell your next one?